Ever wondered how a floating city made entirely of steel doesn't just flip over and sink? Cargo ships carry thousands of containers, engines the size of houses, and sometimes crews that haven't seen land for weeks. And yet, they cross entire oceans without tipping over. So today, here are 25 things about ships most people have absolutely no idea about. Number 1. Let's start with the obvious question. Cargo ships are unbelievably heavy. A large container ship can weigh more than 200,000 tons. That's heavier than many skyscrapers. And yet, it floats. Why? Because ships displace water. Basically, the ocean politely moves out of the way and says, "All right, fine. You can sit here." Physics is weird, but incredibly useful. Number 2. Ships don't measure speed in miles per hour. They measure it in knots. 1 knot is about 1.85 kilometers per hour. The name actually comes from old sailing days. Sailors used ropes with knots tied in them to measure speed. So they literally counted knots moving through the water. And hundreds of years later, the name stuck. Number 3. Movies always show the captain dramatically steering the ship. Reality is a little less exciting. The captain almost never touches the wheel. Modern ships run on autopilot most of the time. The captain mainly supervises operations, navigation decisions, and the crew. Which means yes, even on the middle of the ocean, there's paperwork. Number 4. Ship engines are absolutely enormous. Some of them are 4 stories tall. One piston alone can weigh more than a car. When the engine starts running, the entire ship vibrates. Not violently, but you feel it, like the whole vessel suddenly has a giant metal heartbeat. Number 5. Ships burn a shocking amount of fuel. A large container ship can consume over 200 tons of fuel every single day. Not liters, tons. Which means every day the ship is basically feeding a massive steel engine just to keep moving across the ocean. Number 6. At the very top of many ships, above the bridge, there's a small platform. It's called the Monkey Island. Despite the name, there are no monkeys. It's where radar antennas and navigation equipment are installed, and it gives one of the best views on the entire ship, if you don't mind the wind trying to push you off. Number 7. You've probably noticed that most ships have a red bottom below the waterline. That color isn't decoration. It's special anti-fouling paint. Without it, algae and barnacles would stick to the hull like crazy, and that buildup would slow the ship down dramatically. So that red paint is basically the ship's anti-sea monster armor. Number 8. Ships stay stable using something called ballast water. Inside the hull, there are giant tanks. The crew can pump seawater into them, or pump it out. Too light? Add ballast water. Too heavy? Remove it. It's basically the ship adjusting its own weight to stay balanced in the water. Number 9. Ship anchor chains are ridiculously heavy. One anchor chain can weigh over 100 tons. Each individual chain link can weigh as much as a person. When the anchor drops, the chain lies across the seabed, and that massive weight helps hold the ship in place. It's less like a chain and more like a giant steel snake. Number 10. The propeller of a cargo ship is enormous. Some are 10 meters wide. That's taller than a house. When it spins underwater, it pushes massive amounts of water backward, and that force slowly moves the ship forward, across entire oceans. Number 11. Ships don't really have brakes. If a large ship is moving at full speed, stopping can take several kilometers, so captains don't slam the brakes like in a car. They slow down very early, or they rely on tugboats to help stop the ship safely. Number 12. On most ships, there are essentially 2 leaders, the captain and the chief engineer. The captain runs the navigation and overall operation. The chief engineer runs the engines and technical systems. And if the engine stops, suddenly everyone becomes very interested in the engineer's mood. Number 13. In heavy waves, ships actually bend slightly. Yes, bend. The hull flexes just a little as waves pass under it. Ships are designed this way so they don't snap under stress. Still, it's a strange feeling knowing the giant steel structure you're standing on is flexing. Number 14. Containers don't just sit loosely on the deck. They are locked together using devices called twist locks. These connect containers together like giant Lego blocks. Without them, the first big storm would turn the cargo deck into chaos. Number 15. When ships enter ports, a local pilot boards the vessel. This person knows the harbor in extreme detail: water depth, currents, hidden hazards. Even the largest ships rely on these pilots to safely enter port, because one mistake can block an entire harbor. Number 16. That's where tugboats come in. These small boats are unbelievably powerful. They push and pull huge ships into position. Think of them as the parking assistants for vessels that weigh hundreds of thousands of tons. Number 17. A modern cargo ship usually carries only 20 to 25 crew members. That's it. 20 people operating a floating city, maintaining engines, navigation, cargo operations, safety, and communications. Efficiency at sea is impressive. Number 18. Despite their size, cargo ships aren't that fast. Most travel around 20 knots. That's roughly 37 kilometers per hour, which sounds slow until you remember the ship weighs more than a mountain. Number 19. Storm waves at sea can reach 15 meters or more. That's about a 5-story wall of water. Ships are designed to handle these conditions, but nobody on board ever says, "Wow, this is relaxing." Number 20. Ships also have backup steering systems. If the main steering fails, crews can steer the ship from emergency controls near the rudder, sometimes using hydraulic systems. It's a reminder that even the most advanced ships still have old-school backup plans. Number 21. Ships almost never travel truly empty. Even without cargo, they carry ballast water. Otherwise, they would sit too high in the water and become unstable. So an empty ship is actually still carrying thousands of tons of seawater. Number 22. Ship horns are unbelievably loud. Some reach 140 decibels. That's louder than a jet engine. When ships sound the horn in fog, they're basically shouting across the ocean. Number 23. Modern ships navigate using many systems: GPS radar, AIS tracking, electronic charts. But sailors still learn traditional navigation, because electronics can fail, and the ocean does not care about your signal strength. Number 24. Ships operate 24 hours a day. Officers rotate watch shifts on the bridge. Someone is always navigating, even at 3 in the morning, in the middle of nowhere, with nothing but ocean in every direction. Number 25. Here's the big one. Around 90% of global trade moves by ship. Your phone, your clothes, your food, your car, most of it crossed an ocean at some point, which means ships quietly power the entire global economy, while most people barely notice them. So the next time you see a cargo ship on the horizon, remember you're looking at one of the most incredible machines humans ever built. A floating city, carrying the world's trade across thousands of miles of open ocean. And somehow, it still floats.